my God, welcome back to The Bald and the Beautiful. Hi, I'm Trixie. Katya is dead to me because she's not here right now. And I have a card here because we started doing like real producing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read.
Very impressed.
Obviously, you guys, we have the good children here today, but I'm going to read like I don't know them. Okay. This week on The Bald and the Beautiful, I'm bald, and we have two very beautiful special guests. They're lifelong friends and hosts of the hit podcast, Good Children, where they share hilarious childhood memories, unfiltered pop culture opinions, and even have iconic guests like Julia Fox and Trixie Mattel. It's Miss Joe and Miss Andrew.
Hello.
Yay!
This is really a dream come true.
That was incredible.
That was amazing.
The intro was incredible.
We never do this. We are doing this for you because
you.
we're cosplaying as a real show.
Well,
when Katya's not here, we try to
well,
really do it.
I understand. Yeah.
I get it.
Katya's not here. She has this weird phobia of two people on the pod. She thinks it's too many voices. So she said, I'll stay home. And I was like, good, we don't want you here.
I think it has something to do with us.
No,
I
we
think
were
it
thinking
has
she
something
hates
to
our
do with us.
guts. Is
Yeah.
I
that
think
the
she
truth?
hates
We'll
you.
have to ask. We'll have to ask.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of questions to ask you guys, but like at the top, what was the turning point? Because I feel like it went like this.
Yeah.
And every single person I know listens to your podcast. Was there like a specific moment or episode or like, how did you do it?
We were just like the two dumbest fucks in the room who
Right.
really, really, really convinced ourselves it would work. And we just were posting clips to TikTok. Like the TikTok is what did it.
Yeah.
And
The
it was
TikTok.
yeah.
The
Exactly.
TikTok.
Yeah.
There was one, I would say there was,
It was Kelly
the
Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went viral saying like the last time that America was fully unified was Kelly Clarkson. And then
That
it took
really
off,
kind of
and then
really
people wanted to listen
helped
You talking about
us.
when she won?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I tell you I remember it like it was yesterday?
Yeah.
Because she sings a moment like this.
Of course.
Kids, if you don't know, because I'm sure people younger than us
It makes me
don't
sick.
know.
It makes me sick.
How old are you guys are younger, right?
yeah, we were 5 when she won.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I was in middle school or something.
Okay.
But I remember her voice cracking, singing a moment like this and being like, this is crazy.
It was really beautiful.
I think like for Katniss Everdeen to win the Hunger Games, that had to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
She
an
saved the
amazing
country.
point. Yeah, I mean, in many ways, they actually are very similar people.
It was awesome. And then at the end, she's crying so hard the other contestants sing for
Yeah,
her. It was just so
know.
organic.
And she
from
hasn't
Justin to
stopped
Kelly,
singing yet.
she hasn't stopped.
Well, from Justin to Kelly was traumatic for her.
Yeah.
And she's
I've never
got the
seen it, but I
record.
remember the gentleman's hair.
Justin Guarini.
You can't forget that hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It was
I
like
saw him
little
in
spirals.
Wicked, believe it or not.
Was
in
he good?
Wicked on
Was he
Broadway.
awesome?
He was very, very good.
Okay. That's an
Hero.
American Idol.
Are you guys horny for Wicked?
I am. I mean, you come to LA and it's like actually shoved down your throats in a crazy way. Like every
everywhere.
single street.
You're like, I left New York. I
God.
left the New York area to have Broadway now thrust down my throat again.
yeah. No, but like the 75-foot Ariana Grande
are
posters
they
that are
so
on every
big?
road is crazy.
It's pretty awesome. Brittany Broski had the nerve to text me 2 nights ago. Am I going to see you at the Wicked premiere? And I said, no, I wasn't invited.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And Bob
to
the drag
me.
queen was there. I don't know what I did.
You would have came in a
Wait, you
stunning
had to have
outfit.
a-
I
did
just feel like
somebody.
I wear blonde. I wear pink. You know, I love bubbles. I love witches. Plus, I just talked on the pod about going to see it on Broadway. The thing is,
Do you have
I don't
beef with
like,
Ariana?
Do you think you've said something in the past about
Probably.
Wicked?
Well, my Ariana Grande impersonation. That's probably how I got. Do you guys know about that?
Actually,
Like, you know, it's not good, but maybe she's mad about that.
Yeah, she
I
absolutely
can't
is.
imagine that's
That's
the case.
wild that you didn't get invited.
That
we
is
were
crazy.
like, yeah, we
It's-
couldn't make it this time, but
But ask anybody here, I would get invited and then complain about having to get in drag and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I want is to be asked and then tell everyone around me, well, I can't go. I have to sit in a corset. Like, I can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yes,
I was
that's
at
the
Barbie
goal.
premiere in drag, and even the Barbie movie, you guys, by the end of the movie, I was in the corset. Like, you can't sit
Yeah.
in a movie theater in a corset.
Well, I always think about when you told the story about the Priscilla drag,
Oh.
when you almost went in full Priscilla drag to the Priscilla show with Priscilla next to you.
Oh, Priscilla
front row.
Presley.
And that
Yeah.
kills me.
Girl.
can you imagine?
And by the way, did you see Priscilla?
I did. It's very dark.
It was
It's not
amazing.
exactly uplifting.
Yes. Yeah,
So
no.
imagine me, and I was gonna wear like her like wedding dress with the veil and a big brown wig in the wing, and imagine like the scene of Elvis abusing her, and I'm sitting next to her like,
Hey.
like, what
Hey,
the
girl.
fuck?
Like, are you good? You're like consoling. That's horrible.
Well, the crazy part about that story was that she came and sat right in front of me for the premiere. She was right here,
Oh.
her red hair, and I was just like, okay.
That's crazy.
And that was the first time I saw not Jason Elordi, Jacob Elordi in person.
Wow.
I didn't know he was an Avatar.
How does he look in person?
Yeah, he's
7'5"?
massive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7'5", I think, is
Yeah.
the height.
And that's
cute.
the Australian way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you guys, but not everybody has heard of you guys, which I'm assuming they have, because let me tell you, the algorithm of the Reels and the TikTok favors you guys.
Well,
I think it's hard to avoid
We
you
needed
guys.
to hear that.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much. It's
hard to avoid you
really
guys.
affirmative for us. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well,
We try our best.
People started tagging me because they were like, "Oh, it's like the Trixie and Katya but not
Well,
not
that's
annoying.
why when you came on our podcast, we were like, we didn't know if you were going to show up like very happy or with a cease and desist because we.
You think we have a patent on friendship?
True.
The difference is you guys are real friends, and Katya can't even show up to our pod today.
You're right.
That's the difference.
You're right. No, but we truly like watched you guys from the very beginning, and then we were delusional enough to say we're going to start a podcast, and the rest is history. But we've been best friends since 4 years old, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about following you guys is I got to know you guys as adults talking about like hookups or a movie you saw or whatever. But then the guys, what you stuff we share on social media.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's
You
sick.
guys have like middle school VHS footage of each other.
Yeah. My dad worked in IT and was very, very, very serious about archiving every single thing I ever took a picture of or a video of. And I got a camera at a very young age. And every single, like to the point where it's scary, like every single thing I've ever experienced is on camera.
It's by month and year in the archive. It's like, wild, like 200,000 videos and pictures. It's really
sick.
We haven't even breached the surface of putting things out there. It's wild. But every single time I would go over to Joe's house, he would be like, we're filming today.
Get to
I'd be
work.
Like, get to work.
Get
and
the
then he
wig
would direct me and I'd be like, okay, this is amazing. We're
And
slaying it down.
what was your like beginning projects you guys would start to film together?
I think it really was Farmville Moms. We were doing drag at a very young age.
On like Facebook, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the Facebook. We transitioned from Farmville Moms to Facebook Moms, and it was a Facebook video back when Facebook like video was a thing. I mean, also actually before that, it was like early Facebook. But I was Deborah, you were Linda.
Yeah.
And we were just two Italian moms queening out, just like having a fight every single week. And we took it very seriously, and our audience was 45-year-old women.
Mm-hmm.
We had an
We're
audience.
like, oh my God, me.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were immediately standing.
And they were doing well. Like, I
Yeah.
wish we did stay with it because it would have like taken us somewhere, but then we just got nervous and like we're getting
The
bullied.
gay crept in. And it
Well,
was
we
like,
talked
what are
about
we
this on the
doing?
pod. You
Yeah.
guys were doing this. You guys were doing drag, pretending to be moms, which is gayer than anything.
Yeah.
Right? Pretending
Yeah.
to be like a 40-year-old wine mom is gayer than getting fucked in the ass.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
think.
sure.
Absolutely.
And you guys were staunchly like, but love the girls, love the
like,
pussy.
I'm so straight. Yeah,
That's
like,
so
obsessed with pussy. Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, it was
It
wild.
really goes to show you how repression really can
Girl.
take incredible
And even our parents, they were
forms.
like, when we came out, they were like shocked. I
That was
like,
the
what do you
craziest
mean?
part.
You were
I was like,
watching Farmville Moms
you
with us.
bought us the wigs. You bought us the wigs.
I was like,
I was using my mom's clip-in hair extensions as a wig for like 4 years. And I was like, this is literally yours. Like, how are you shocked?
Mom, can I wear your cardigan? She's like, absolutely. You look amazing.
Well, I think whatever repression you guys are feeling is mirrored by the level of denial that a parent can exhibit.
That's
Exactly.
true. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I wish my parents were shocked. When I told my fucking mom, they all know this. My mom was like, well,
Of course.
kind of knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I was expecting like, when I would watch Degrassi and someone comes out, they have to like run away from home, live in the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
I was buckled. I was ready to run away. I thought I'm ready to go live in a women's shelter, whatever I need to do. And mom was like, yeah, we all knew.
You're like, that easy?
That's like
What the
best
fuck?
case scenario
It is.
in many ways.
It is.
But it is, but it was also kind of like, as somebody who wasn't quite ready to be called feminine at all, I was like,
It takes away something.
well, fuck you too, bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted my mom to be like, really? You were so athletic.
You wanted the drama to happen.
Right.
Yeah. You were so butch.
Yeah.
What happened?
You did football, right?
Well, we both did football for a second.
We
I
did
played
flag
football. I played lacrosse was my main thing.
Do you like how I call it did football?
Did football. Yeah, because
We did
we
football.
did it. Yeah. No. And then I broke my wrist in 8th grade playing football, and that was the best day of my entire life. I'm being serious.
Because you
I
were
was
like free.
I was free. My parents thought I was going to be in the NFL. Can you imagine? What would I play? What would I be?
The National
ball.
Faggot
The ball.
League?
Literally, like,
Be the
throw
ball.
me around, please. Yeah.
And so you're playing football and then your wrist is just free swinging like this. Not
like-
exactly hetero. Like,
No, I'm like, of course
that's why
my
it broke.
my wrist snapped.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was
oh no,
so limp.
It was so limp. Yeah, and I was backpedaling and I fell and I was like, fuck yeah.
was it fucking wild to have Julia Fox on?
Oh, it was.
It was.
How did
'Cause that
you
was
guys get
so
to do
early
that?
on.
It was our
So early
first
on.
1 year anniversary of the pod, and
That
you
was
were
a
the second year.
It was
Yeah.
a huge celebrity guest, and that was like, I mean, you guys are so big now. That was like the beginning of you guys.
It was so terrifying. It was so scary. We literally the whole time. I mean, same thing with you. We thought you weren't going to show up. Like we are like obviously like all we think is like worst case scenario. But for Julia, it was like we ran into her at a party at like some like PR event, and that was like the beginning of it. And we went up to her, asked her to come on the podcast. She
Well,
said,
you had a T-shirt.
I mean, I didn't want to get into the full story, but basically, I'll make it quick. 24 hours before this party, she posted to her TikTok and said, I want a shirt that says, I have a right to be ugly. I was informed by somebody that she'd be at the same party as us the next night. I had the shirt made by my sister.
Who makes shirts?
all you need is somebody with a cricket to get something done. And she made the shirt for me in 24
sorry,
hours.
are you saying the word cricket?
Yes.
Cricket.
Yeah.
What is that?
See, and that's because you don't live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Because that's
These moms, these 30-year-old girls, they are making things with crickets.
Yes.
Katya makes all Katya's clothes are t-shirts that she makes on like PixArt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Canva.
And then, but this is like full, like, it cuts it out for you. You apply it with like an iron or a heat press.
small
And you like
businesses.
can't wash it.
Yes,
Or-
basically, or it'll peel right off.
Yeah.
So Julia's shirt has peeled off, I'm sure, since then. But
You gave it to her?
yeah. So the next day she was at the party. She was in like the craziest custom look. Like she was floating through the room. I was like 4 drinks in. I don't think I even told you what the plan was.
Because she came out like, again, the air left the room. It was a grand entrance,
Yeah.
I would say.
And
You didn't tell me this was happening.
No, I said I have I have a plan. But I didn't say what the plan was
I'm
because I
so-
needed to be like. If I told anyone, I'd be so much more nervous.
Oh yeah. I'm so scared of celebrities and I'm so scared of famous people and I'm very scared of famous people that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course. So that's why we were terrified of you.
Yeah.
We'll never forget when we got the phone call from the Wisconsin area code. It was the scariest moment of our entire lives.
No, we
We almost drove off the road.
talk about it to this day. We're like, no,
Yes.
no, don't do it. Because I just called.
You
Yeah.
called
Yeah, it
to
was
like, I
so
guess maybe
scary.
were you saving the number? We didn't pick up.
We didn't pick up. No, we didn't pick
I'm
up. And we
so
knew it was
insane.
you, but we couldn't pick up.
I just cold call people.
Yeah.
And like, I think you guys aren't like so young, but I know like Gen Z and stuff is like, that's their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Is that like their mom calls them on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
I think we were justified. We were like, no, like Trixie didn't mean to like call, right?
It was
like, that was like an
it had to
accident.
be
It was a butt dial.
accident,
It was
like-
for sure a butt dial. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally
414 number. I'm like, hey. By the way, just to segue, you guys are going to Madison, Wisconsin.
We
Yes,
are.
we are.
Holy shit.
We
Yeah.
are.
What's
I'm
the-
very
And we're
Yeah.
trying to sell some tickets. So thank you for that
so
plug. because it's
Madison,
not
let's
looking
hear you
good.
scream.
You guys are going to Indianapolis, Madison, I believe, Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the
And-
3.
And you
Those
do a
are
little
our 3
Midwest
right now.
tour.
A little
Yeah, we're
Midwest
doing a little
tour.
tester Midwest tour.
Have you
before we
guys
go.
been to the Midwest before?
No.
Well, you've been to Chicago. You were a Chicago, right?
No,
Ohio.
Oh,
sorry.
I've been to Ohio.
What are you going to wear?
This, I think.
We do think we're gonna do some sort of. Are we still gonna do that?
We want
the
to lean
country
into, like,
set
the country for it, which I don't really know if it's actually Midwest, but we just like both really want
because
to
we always
sing a country
open and
song.
end with a song. We always sing. We just don't shut up, right? But we were like, what songs are we gonna sing this time? Do we just go like full country and make it funny?
It
No,
seems like you hate
that.
the idea.
Okay, so like
we'll
we
get
could
back to the
ideate. We
drawing
could ideate.
board.
Let's take a break.
This episode is sponsored by ZocDoc. For the past several years, I have been hard at work on my debut self-help book, Finding Comfort in the Chaos. In it, I teach my followers that when you find yourself living in an uncomfortable moment, even if it makes you feel confused, anxious, or mystified as to what to do next, don't panic. Find comfort in that chaos. Those moments are difficult, but they offer opportunities for personal growth, innovation, and creativity. For instance, not that long ago, while attending a party at my friend Doug's house, a guest decided to double dip their carrot in a ramekin of homemade ranch dressing. When I let the person know that it's flu season and that double dipping is a hygienic faux pas, they said that the ranch dressing is so good that it requires double dipping, and then proceeded to tell me that my face is dumb. Well, instead of turning around, walking away, and removing myself from the chaos, I welcomed it. I picked up the ramekin, drank all the ranch dressing in one gulp, and placed it back on the table, telling the guest, "Welcome to the jungle of chaos." And then we became best friends. But while that chaos led to a lifelong friend with whom I can share ranch dressing for the rest of my days, there is one area of life where crapshoots are not allowed. And that, my friends, is healthcare. Finding the right doctor shouldn't be a total crapshoot. And that's where ZocDoc comes in. ZocDoc is the preeminent provider of a place where you can find and book doctors who specialize in the specific field of medicine you need, whether that be ranch dressing allergies or stomach issues resulting from consuming too much ranch dressing. You can even filter for doctors who take your specific insurance, who are located close to your home if you're like me and hate driving, and most importantly, you can find doctors who are highly rated by real-life verified patients. You can even see their real-time appointment openings, choose a time that works for you, and with just a click or two, you can instantly book a visit. ZocDoc appointments also happen super fast, sometimes within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. Occasionally, you can even score same-day appointments. The best part though, ZocDoc is completely free to use. You can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. With ZocDoc, you've got more options than you know. I love ZocDoc because every year on December 24th, I black out for 24 hours and have the weirdest dreams about flying around the world in a sleigh and delivering presents. I wake up the next day with cookie crumbs on my face and zero recollection of what happened. Needless to say, I need to find a doctor. I want to see verified reviews by actual patients, and I want to see them quickly and easily. ZocDoc helps me find the best doctor in my area and book them fast. If I can find a great doctor, so can you. And all because of ZocDoc. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/bald to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/bald. ZocDoc.com/bald.
Today's episode of Bald and Beautiful is brought to you by our friends at Vaya. I think we all need to take a break from buying things for people we don't even know what they want. We go to a crowded store and we pick out something we hope that they'll possibly enjoy, even though we are just, it's easy to first, second, and third doubt yourself when you're trying to gift shop. And I think it's time to restore the zen of holiday shopping and embrace the natural power of hemp this holiday season with Vaya. Recharge with Vaya this holiday season, whether you're enjoying an evening at home, maybe you're hosting family like me, or maybe you're embracing like a festive situation. Vaya's premium THC and THC-free gummies will help you find the perfect holiday balance. You guys, my family's visiting me right now, and I know how much like a little bit of festive THC can just set the vibe for everyone to relax. Vaya is well renowned for the award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, THCA flower, soothing topicals and calming drops, all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part is, Vaya legally ships to nearly all states in the US in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card required. This is huge. You guys, I know how difficult it is sometimes to access these things because of state, it's too much. Vaya makes it easy. So if you're 21 plus, check out our link to Vaya's website link in our description and use the code BALD for 15% off. So use the code BALD for 15% off, okay? I know for me, what I like about this product is you can specifically get like a body rub oil situation. And you guys know for like me, for a soothing topical with my arthritis, I always would rather use something naturally derived. It's made in the USA. It is an industry leader, over 500,000 customers served, and it has award-winning service. So if you need customer support about any product or shipping or delivery, great support there, and that really matters. This holiday season, gift yourself some peace of mind. If you're 21 plus, check out the link to Vaya in our description and use the code BALD to receive 15% off. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and say that Trixie and Katya sent you. Okay, this holiday season, enhance your everyday with Vaya. I think honestly, like what's the most, Wisconsin's weird because, at least the Midwest is weird because you guys are going to big cities. Big cities are not like the country.
Right.
So people are probably going to be like, it's going to be like little fashion gays and shit,
Okay.
And little like the girlies and the they thems. It's going to be like that.
Yeah.
But what you guys should do in Wisconsin,
Please.
I don't want to like spoil it for you, but you guys should get some Packer jerseys or like those cheeseheads.
Okay.
Something very local in that way.
Mhm.
And they'll turn up for that shit.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yes. And we're familiar with some cheeseheads. So it's actually perfect. Yeah.
Chicago's like America's third largest city. You
Yeah.
guys are acting like you're going to the goddamn prairie.
No, Chicago,
I think you'll be okay.
We get it. Yeah.
The fact that we haven't been to Chicago is kind of crazy.
Yes,
to me.
and we're going in the dead of winter, which I heard it's beautiful that time of year. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
You might get snowbound. Katya and I got stuck in Madison because of a snowstorm last year.
Wow.
Yeah, good luck to you.
I mean, I think that'd be a fun story for us.
Snowed it in Madison.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Hallmark movie.
You guys got to marry someone in Wisconsin. I'm telling you, everybody, all my gay guys,
You don't have to twist my arm. I will.
all my gay friends who go to Wisconsin are like, the men there are, Nick, right?
Nick.
The men are beautiful there.
Really?
They're corn-fed. They exercise and eat.
Yeah.
They
I'm
have
blushing.
jobs and educations.
Yeah.
And they like are repressed in a hot way.
Okay.
Where it's like,
Yeah,
what version of
that's-
sex do you want? Do you want like the Boy Scout version we just jerk off and don't talk about it? Or getting a little drunk and mama, you're getting choked. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That's
kind of a little
sounds
drug.
Right up your alley.
It does.
Right up your alley.
To get chokes.
Well, yeah. Okay,
Well,
sure.
you guys are both single, no?
No,
No.
I'm in a 2-year-long relationship.
I knew this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's so okay. It's so okay.
So we're trying to marry you off. is
Yeah.
kind of the
Yeah.
story.
Please.
And what's the dowry situation? Like if someone comes courting your daughter and they're like, hey girl,
It's tough. I'm a very, very strict parent when it comes to that because
Yeah.
I think that Andrew has really crazy judgment, and we can't disagree here. We can't disagree.
You're right.
Do you
Because
like the toxic boys or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
You like them to have
most-
husbands, don't you?
The most evil person on the planet is usually who it is.
And I
It's
don't even
always
think they're
shocking.
evil. And it's like, it really is
something
horrible.
he does is he'll be like, it's amazing. Like he does not let me speak, but I love it. Like I love it. It's amazing.
I'm like, honestly, I met him at the bar and like he would just like disappear every 15 minutes. And like then I would just find him kissing somebody else. And then like I'd be like, fine with it. Then he'd come right back to me. Yeah, that's the
insane.
problem.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't stand when, you know what I can't stand in a relationship? This is a deal breaker. What do you want tonight for dinner, babe? Well, what sounds good? And then you present options and they say no to everything. So then what is this about?
right.
yeah.
Is this
So
just
what do you
us
want?
volleying restaurant names? Is it a game? Like we just say no to everything?
Yeah,
It's
no.
really
I like
tough.
decisive men.
Of
Yeah, I
course.
agree with
So
that.
I'm not saying I like to be passive in relationships, but I hate indecision.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
sort of like, I don't know, whatever. No.
I'm definitely, I would say I teeter on indecisive, but I'm decisive when it comes to food. Okay?
That's true. You do
So,
know what you want.
Yeah, I know what I want.
What's the dream food on the date?
Dream food on the date. I like an Italian. Well, I'm Italian, so I like an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
I like twirl my little fork for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. But I feel like I'm not normally going to dinner for a date. It's normally like, let's grab a drink
Yeah.
or let's get coffee.
It was like so New York sounding. Let's get a
get coffee.
drink. A drink or coffee.
And we'll see where it goes.
But you bitches are from Jersey, right?
No, Long
No,
Island.
I'm sorry. We talked about this last time. I'm having deja vu. These little faggots who follow, they know that I have no memory. They're going to post us asking and talking about the same things.
Yeah. No, I will say, I think that one time, we might have messaged it when you came on our pod too, but you had Bob the Drag Queen on and you mentioned us and you were like, these two faggots from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
And people were tagging us being like, New Jersey
that horrible?
boys.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But the thing is,
Like,
we love New Jersey.
we love New
love
Jersey.
New Jersey.
We're obsessed.
Yeah. J-Lo. No, I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
That's Long Island.
That's
Bronx.
worse.
Yeah.
See, what he did was worse.
No,
Bronx.
because we're okay, but here I can explain why.
Who's
Because
New
I was
Jersey?
thinking of Antonella Barber from American Idol. She has a song called Jersey Girl, and in that song, she goes not to be confused with the movie starring J-Lo, because J-Lo did star in Jersey Girl.
Yeah.
Right.
not her.
Quick
Yeah.
recovery there for me.
That was really
I
good.
needed
Bring
to
it
do
back
that.
to American Idol whenever
Yeah.
you need.
Now, with the toxic men, are you the last to know? Is it everyone around you like, girl,
Yeah,
Tina, girl,
yeah,
girl,
yeah.
girl?
Yeah.
It's like you can pick them out of the group. You know what I mean? Like you know what they're gonna look like. You know how they're gonna be, and yeah, I'm trying to steer away from it. It's been a while though,
Right.
you know. But I'm always finding myself in a bad situation.
But you're doing a good job right now.
I am.
You really are.
I really am.
You really, really are.
Thank you so much.
You know what I think the game changer is? When I started thinking like, what I want, if I hear a story about someone's relationship or like my relationship, whatever, and I go, all right, if this was happening to my sister, what would I tell her to do? Or my mom?
Yeah.
If a guy said this to her or the guy did this to her, what would I say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, do you guys have siblings?
Yes.
we do. Yeah.
Okay. And then the thing is when your siblings are acting wild in a relationship, you have to keep your yard clean enough that you can get on your soapbox and tell them what to do. Because if
Yeah.
your relationships are a wreck and you start telling them what's up, they're like, well, what about you, Mary? You know,
I feel like
it
it's
sucks
hard
for
because
us
we're like young.
the younger ones, both of us, and all of our older siblings are like very like own a house, have kids, normal life.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we're podcasters.
They
live in
follow the
Bushwick,
structure,
so
yeah.
we look like the crazy ones 10
Always.
times out of 10.
Our parents are like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a podcaster." Like, what's that? I'm like, cool.
you started recording at home by yourselves, like using your own cameras and own sound
Yeah,
equipment.
our
Yeah.
own phones, and we still do that to this day.
Phones.
Yeah, our
iPhones.
phones.
That's it.
An iPhone can do anything.
It really can.
It really can.
Mm-hmm.
It can, but have you guys seen that Google Pixel 9?
And I do love the Google Pixel as well.
That
And if-
camera,
a Google deal?
Yeah,
that camera's amazing.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I did a commercial for them with Money Exchange and they were showing me how to use it. And by the way, the phone hadn't come out yet. You would have thought we were like in the Secret Service. They were like, you cannot take a picture of it. Like you can't
Oh
leak
my
what it is.
God.
Because everyone's constantly.
The camera on that shit is amazing.
Okay.
So even if you got it just to film with,
I was
You're right.
thinking about that at one point because I used it over the summer for a job, and I was like, "This is the best camera I've ever seen."
Okay, so
ever.
we're getting the Google.
But our iPhone footage is fine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's very HD. It looks good. We're at the place where we're like, as long as the video is recorded and the audio sounds okay, we're happy.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we worry so much about what the pod looks like. And sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry, whatever happened to a podcast?
Isn't it
course.
Or the
crazy?
ear holes?
We have to put on clothes now.
Yep. And you can't repeat the outfits. I get stressed.
Yeah.
Your face needs to be moving all over the place. People want to stay engaged, you know?
They want, I guess people want, but it's like a podcast, but now let's just call it what it is. Low budget iPhone camera talk show.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
Watch
Once
them
a
on
week.
YouTube.
Yeah.
watching on the YouTube.
Horrible.
Yeah. No, but we love it.
I love it.
Are you too famous for the apps now, for the gay apps?
On the gay apps, I mean, like, I get noticed here and there. That freaks me out,
Yeah, I
though.
don't
I'm
like
like,
that.
especially when it's like,
Oh, you're
girl.
gonna get killed.
No,
like,
and you've
we are.
always, Joe has always said that. That's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
The
But
gift
I'm
of
like,
foresight.
you know, you're on an app. You're like, I'm just trying to get it right now. Sometimes.
Well, sometimes it's like you're more worried about like, oh God, are they on prep? And I'm like, you're going to a stranger's home.
Yeah.
The killer is waiting.
Absolutely.
The killer
is
doesn't need to wait for an
always
STI. The killer has
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
knife.
No, I got to delete those. I ebb and flow with deleting. But the like Hinge and Tinder, I'm trying to get away from them. I'm trying to meet somebody organically.
I
In
love
Wisconsin.
Hinge.
In Wisconsin, I swear
Yeah,
to God,
yeah.
you guys are going to Madison,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
beautiful. College town, gorgeous. Do you like younger men?
Well, I wouldn't say college.
Yeah.
Would you say college?
What about
I hope
grad degree?
not.
What about grad degree?
grad degree?
That'd
I
be
can do.
amazing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would love somebody with a grad degree.
Higher ed.
Higher
Smart
ed.
men are the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. I could do that. I'm actually willing to settle in Wisconsin for sure. We
As
can
in,
do
like,
the
settle down.
settle down.
Okay. Yeah,
oh no,
yeah.
not
You're
settle
saying
for
settle
people.
for the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Wow. Oh my God, like, I'm not trying to be shady about
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I'm obsessed with Wisconsin. It's amazing. Like, I love cheese. But I do believe that I would settle down with somebody in Wisconsin. We could just do it virtually, right?
The podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Do you know what I think is funny? When we were on the pod afterward, I was like, do you guys want to go swimming? And you guys said, yeah. And then we all went swimming.
Yeah. We
That
did.
really happened.
That really did
We
happen.
said yeah, and I turned to Joe and I was like, are you sick about this?
Yeah, in front of you. That was a crazy moment to me.
Because we have anxiety. Sometimes we're like, we don't want to infringe on spaces.
But you
But we
know that I'm the
infringed on
queen
the
of like,
space.
come over and I'll tell you when to leave the moment I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is
And that was the perfect amount of time. Like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were swimming in that pool for like an hour, and then we were
that
in, we were
hot
out.
pool.
And then
that
get out.
hot pool.
It was hot.
Yes. Which was
Truly.
amazing.
When was that?
That was,
It was like
April.
May.
You said that your
Oh, no,
house
it had
was
to be
just
April,
redone.
because
Yeah.
May is when the episode came out, so it was April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we keep the pool at like 90.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what
so-
it was, I think.
Sometimes we keep it at 100 and we'll swim in it for a weekend like it's a hot tub, giant hot tub.
It was really a glorious day, and I think we were like our spray tan was coming off almost.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sure. It
Oh
was
yeah, on the
horrible.
car over.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we were
Yes.
dripping.
Yeah, it hit midnight and
Oh, gorgeous house.
pumpkin
David was watching
returned.
the Marilyn Monroe docs or whatever.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
happening.
hey, we're here, we're swimming now. But you know what? I always thought if I had a pool, I would use it all the time. Do you guys honestly think that if you had a pool, you would use it?
Yes.
I understand what you're saying. I think I grew up with the pool
And
and
you never used it?
we never really used it. Like it was like the
Yeah.
biggest point of contention in my family is my dad being like, no one goes in this pool. It is like draining money. We cannot have this anymore.
Take the video camera, go in the pool.
Yeah, and that I did. And
Yeah.
that I did. We
Mermaids.
got some mermaids.
Would you prefer a hot tub over the pool?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I use the
for
hot
sure.
tub almost every day.
Yeah.
After being in drag all day, when your little piggies are all smashed from the shoes, and like you have body makeup residue, like you scrub it off, but you still feel sticky. Cook myself like a fucking lobster, bright red. I want that water 105.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be afraid for my life in that hot
Yeah.
tub.
You want to be in there for 5 minutes and you have to sit on the ledge because you're sweating so much.
Oh, and I'd be in there alone.
Yep.
I'm like falling
Getting
asleep
dehydrated.
alone in the hot
Yeah.
tub.
That's perfect. Best case
Clock it
scenario.
out. Yeah.
Do you guys, when you do your pod, do you go into it with a plan or do you do what Katya and I do, which is walk in and scream?
We do the latter, which I think is really hard. It really but you guys like have a really established audience and like a really established career. So people just want to hear you speak about anything. For us, like we still need to hook people with something.
Yeah.
And then we show up and we sit down and we're like, what the fuck are we going to talk about?
Like, what's the
this
theme
week?
today? But I think that we're getting to a place though that it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. But I still am like a casual YouTube scroller is not going to click on a thumbnail that's like us talking about pumpkins for an hour and a
Yeah.
half.
It'll be like,
It's not.
you clickbait them and it's like first time having gay
That
sex.
is actually what we're always doing because that's the best clickbait.
Yeah.
It
always
is.
like-
Or
so
like
good.
movies that just came, like if you guys talked about Wicked, right after you saw it,
Right.
it probably would get clipped.
True.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes the fans of the shows clip better clips than I have. And sometimes I'm like, my little friend over here has clipped a clip of me and Katya that has millions of. I'm like,
It's crazy.
Meanwhile, my like shitty selfie on TikTok, they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Are you well?
Do you run your own socials?
Yeah.
Yes,
Girl,
We
Tina.
run it all. Wow. I know.
Do you use your socials anymore?
I post it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I post. I think you can tell because it's like a 2 a.m. ship post. It's like misspelled.
I understand. Yeah.
But that's what people want. I feel like you want to know that the person is also doing the socials.
I can't
I'm
even
like in
tell
the
you.
DMs. I'm like messaging people back. I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I hate when you follow a celebrity and their like Twitter presence is like a GIF from a movie they did, and it's like walking into Monday, like, and you're like, girl, this isn't you.
And that was
some of the
me.
Drag Race.
I did that for an unnamed celebrity for a year and a half. I was them on social media. Actually, several, 3 at one point at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Did you-
it
was
was
it weird?
soul sucking. It was a soul sucking work the whole time. I mean, they were all like nice and everyone was fine. Like not like the actual like management, but the celebrities themselves were very, very nice. But it was really, really, really weird work. Because sometimes I'm like writing a beautiful essay about like body empowerment. And then like, I'm like, okay, this goes off to you. And then I sit in the background and watch people like love what you're saying. And it's fully, I wrote this.
Oh my
It was like
God.
ghostwriting, but in like full TikTok, Instagram, Twitter,
But like
Facebook.
even interviews, I feel like, right? Like they would go on
Sometimes.
interviews and you would tell them what
Sometimes,
to say.
yeah.
Crazy.
Which is crazy because my job was video editor.
Today's episode of Bald and Beautiful is brought to you by our friends at Mint Mobile. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Can I just say, I'm not going to say which provider I was with, but this was like 2017. Fina Barbital was the one who was like, how much do you pay for your... And she's the one who went into my phone like login and showed me like, oh no, girl, they got you. There's better deals than what your service is, but they're obviously not going to tell you that. Like, I just feel like big wireless, like it's never their job to let you know if you're overpaying. You know what I mean? You could never trust the people who are getting money from you to tell you when you're overpaying for something, you know? Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought magically skyrockets, right? With Mint Mobile, you never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month for a 3-month plan, they mean it, okay? Say goodbye to overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with a high-speed data, unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for only $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/bald. That's mintmobile.com/bald. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/bald. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/bald. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Today's episode of Bald and the Beautiful is brought to you by Chime. You guys, the little girl is not here today because it's a school day and she's in school, okay? But the holidays are here, listeners, and don't worry about your finances as you try to buy gifts for your friends and your family. I mean, even in the face of this big annual holiday spending spree, you can still make some financial progress during the holidays with the Chime Secured Credit Builder Visa Credit Card. I mean, back when I was a kid, you know, when we needed money, we just had to magically have it. And, you know, it just wasn't always lining up perfectly, you know. But with Chime, you can start building credit with your holiday purchases and regular on-time payments with all, like, no annual fees, interest, or credit check at chime.com/bald. Nowadays, I've kind of tried to improve my credit score. And when you have a credit score, you can start enjoying all the benefits that come with it. Let me tell you, you want a house, you want a car, you want to buy anything remotely expensive, you're going to need some kind of record that you once bought something and borrowed money and paid it off. The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card has no fees or interest, and there's no credit check to apply, which is perfect because there's no credit check, and you can use this to build your credit for things when there are a credit check. You can use the Chime app to pay anyone, Chime members or not. I mean, you know, this time of year, I pretty often like owe my neighbor quite a bit of money after an unfortunate accident last week with her mailbox. Don't ask, but thanks for making that payment easy, Chime. This year, turn your holiday purchases into steps toward your financial goals with Chime Secure Credit Card. Get started today at chime.com/bald. That's chime.com/bald. Chime. Feels like progress. The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Chime checking account and qualifying direct deposit required to apply. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Do you guys get a lot of thirst? The gay guys want to fuck you guys?
I could use more of it. I love the attention. I have to
Same,
say,
same.
we're always begging for it. We're really kind of desperate in some ways,
in like a weird way.
In a
We're
weird
like,
way, it gets
"Hey,
desperate.
guys,
We're like,
DM
we'll
us."
take off all of our clothes on Patreon if you pay us $7. Like we
Yeah.
will really do it. In
And
a
then like
heartbeat.
all of a sudden we're like, oh, so we do have a gay following. It's like Michael, James, Patrick, everyone starts following the Patreon because they think we're naked.
Oh.
But not on a day-to-day basis. No, not a lot of people are trying to fuck us.
Do you guys really take the clothes off on the Patreon?
We've done it once or twice.
You
We
like a
did it-
shirtless episode or something?
We've done like full.
No.
We've used like a modesty cloth occasionally, but there was a time this summer that we did full because we went to a nude beach together. So we like crossed a boundary. We're like, okay, we can like be around each other naked, and we did a full episode completely naked. And I am the editor of it, and I remember Andrew was on a flight here actually, and I was trying to edit this, and I was like, I cannot in good faith. We were never going to post our
No.
actual dicks.
No,
it was
we wouldn't
always
do
going to be
that.
censored. But
Of
it was
course.
just the practice of doing it that I was like, we've crossed a line here.
Are
for
we
what
pathetic?
I was
We were
like,
what are we
but
doing?
no shame to anyone who's doing
No.
sex work. But I was like, we're like so. It was like this fine line between like actually committing and then just being like soft and naked on camera, talking about our lives for an hour.
I'm like, you rap and like you just like go on with your day.
Put back on your pants.
Like
and
pretend
say,
like
"All right."
nothing just happened. Like okay, see you
That's why
later.
people should shoot in studios with crews
Yeah.
because we just get
Trying to
bored.
keep the clothes on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you guys
Yeah.
are left to your own devices, you get out the
Yeah.
iPhones
Right
and
now,
show the whole.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to start doing sex work, I think you should ask for more money than, YouTube
$7 a
views.
month.
Yeah. Also, you know what else? It might hurt sponsorships.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm glad we didn't release it. But
By the way, don't tell Katya that. She will get naked in here, right? Like, please don't. Her and her bright gray bush, just like, no, please.
Next week.
Fucking no, please.
Yeah. But if
that
we,
was
if-
exactly how we sat too in
Yeah.
the whole episode. Yeah.
like that.
Do you guys are involved in the drag? You like the drag girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You like
Joe's
the drag
dating a
girls?
drag queen.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if you guys could ever go on Drag Race and be judges. That would be wonderful.
That
We-
would be a dream.
that's a dream come true.
case scenario.
Then you would
Yeah.
have nervous breakdown.
Do you think? We have
Every time I see
we are
RuPaul-
always having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
Like we're having one right
anytime
now.
you see us, like when I was pulling into the parking lot, I was having a nervous breakdown. Joe was like, Joe was like, you need to turn around.
I just kept going as
just kept
far away as
driving past
possible.
I just kept driving past you. It was
What's
sick.
happening?
Well, they
It was
came.
sick.
They pulled in, and it was me standing next to the Bob the Drag Queen tour bus with Bruce Valanche.
Yeah,
Like,
it
what
was
is
a
that?
heavy
It was an
intro.
overwhelming
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Oh my god! And they parked at Trixie Cosmetics because as we're filming this, it's Veterans Day.
Yes.
And there's no one in the office today, so you guys lucked out on the parking.
It was
I know.
amazing.
I think it was meant to
amazing.
be.
It
Yeah,
was.
really was.
100%.
Can I tell you, as many times I've worked with RuPaul, every single time, it is a pulse pounding horror thrill ride
Mhm.
because I love her and fear her so much. And if you guys, I'm telling you, even out of drag, when she walks in, it is like a voodoo doll somewhere has stabbed you in the neck. It's so chilling and thrilling.
Well, you were saying you can't meet your favorite celebrities or somebody you think is so famous. Like, I actually do think I would shut down if I was in the same room as RuPaul.
Well, I'm sure when you guys had Miss Fox, it was like that. Who's in that echelon for you of faves where you would just die?
It's
'Cause-
like my
'cause they might
answer
come
is
on.
so random for this podcast, but for me, it's Lorde.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand singer songwriter Lorde is someone who like I have such a scary parasocial relationship with. Like she posted her birthday party pictures yesterday, and like my stomach dropped because I was like, she didn't invite me. And I was like, oh, I have no idea who this person is. Like, this is a complete stranger.
You
But I
wanna go.
literally like felt that. So I would only be afraid of how I would behave because I don't want to be parasocial. I don't want to be weird. And I just
Yeah.
want to like be normal.
For sure.
So it'd be tough.
That's
I think
the thing.
Rue makes sense too, though.
Because then you have to
Yeah.
pretend you don't know everything about Lorde. Otherwise, you're a freak.
And like I
But
know
then
everything
you're-
about you.
But then you're pretending to not know. Because I've had guys that hooked up with pretend they don't know. And that's much worse than just saying it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it though? Would you want them to say? I
Yes.
guess so.
When they say like, so what do you do for a living?
like,
I'm
what's
like,
your
you
name?
follow me on
You're fucking
Instagram.
kidding. Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
yeah.
What about you? Who would chill you to the core?
I think it's just because we talked about her lore for so long as Kiki Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with Kiki Palmer, like
Yeah.
in a crazy way. So I feel like the conversation would be amazing.
I think she'd break the ice pretty quick on
I
that
did a
one.
commercial
for
with
sure.
her.
How
With
was
Monet.
she?
Monet and I did
delight.
that
How
Google
is she
thing
in
with
real
her.
life?
This is episode really should be sponsored by Google.
She was there, right? Am I dreaming this?
You were dreaming it. I often dream about her.
No,
too,
she
yeah.
was hosting because I asked her about Scream. Because I remember the first
Oh
time
my
I saw her was in
God.
Scream, the TV series. And she was so beautiful. And
So
she was
amazing.
asking me and Monet all about our hair and makeup because she's like a little drag queen, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny because in drag, when I'm like with another drag queen like Monet, I think like, oh, we're just 2'5'2" girls. And then when a real girl enters the room, it's like that scene in Alice in Wonderland where you're like growing. And I'm like, oh, right. We're huge. Would you guys ever do the drags? Once again, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it like twice just for Halloween. Like my boyfriend's put me in full drag. This year I was Jessica Lange in American Horror Story Asylum during the name game.
With the
when she has like the blue
little
60s. Yeah. And that, I really like felt my oats this year. I really enjoyed it. The year before I was Trisha Paytas and I like left immediately, went home and showered. I was like, I hate everything about this.
Right.
This year I was like, oh, I could do like character drag. Like I would enjoy like this shit. I couldn't like serve. I simply could not serve.
Sure.
But I don't know if I would actually commit to it in a full way. I mean, we basically do the cheapest, worst version of it.
I don't know how to beat my face. Like that's the one thing I need to like learn how to do makeup, because I do think I would do drag.
You don't wear any boy makeup, either of you?
No.
This is your real faces?
I'll rub
my real
some
face.
eyeshadow on my lids occasionally for fun, but
wow, you guys, their
great.
skin in real life, you guys look like little baby, like glowing.
Oh
Thank you. It's because we're 16.
It's because you don't do drag.
Yeah, exactly.
The
We're not
skin
ruining
loves
our
no
faces.
drag. This summer when I was doing my sabbatical, I was like, wow, cross-dressing is a wreck on your body. It really is.
How was that sabbatical?
I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah.
What podcast do you guys listen to as podcasters? None.
But like,
let's take a break. You really listen to none?
Yeah.
Kind of.
I love that.
Yeah.
I will tune into, depending on the guest, I'll tune into like, for a while I was listening to Sarah Silverman's pod because she just talks by herself, which is kind of interesting. For a while I was listening to Matt and Bowen. For a while I kind of like jump around.
Yeah.
And I love Attitudes with Brian and Aaron, but then you guys, it's like mostly when the algorithm reminds me to. I'm like, oh, I love them. I'm going to turn them on.
Oh my God, that means so much. I feel like comedy pods, sometimes I don't listen to as much. I feel like I want to get away from like what we do sometimes, but I do occasionally listen to a Just Trish or
Sloppy Seconds.
Sloppy Seconds. Love Meatball.
Yeah.
Love Meatball.
Love. Obsessed. But yeah, we really just, even when we started the podcast, we never listened to a podcast before we started. That was real delusion.
I think
like,
that's
let's
why
just
it
go.
worked also.
Yeah.
We had nothing to reference.
Yeah.
The first few years of doing drag, I was in Rocky Horror and I didn't know any other drag queens.
That's crazy.
But, that's why you figure out how to do everything the wrong way and then you have to fix it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the hard version of everything because you're too proud to take direction from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend that approach to anything.
But I do love it. It's my favorite
works.
approach.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It does.
I think sometimes the things people don't know podcasters have to know. I mean, luckily you guys are using iPhones, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Do you use your real iPhones or do you have separate phones?
No, we
No,
use our real
we
phones,
use
and
our-
it's a point of contention once a week because Andrew does not have storage.
It's like,
and
and I
really
get yelled
bad.
at every single week that I don't have
Well, it's
storage.
just because every week I say, let's make sure we have enough storage on our phone. And sometimes we're 10 minutes in and the storage is full.
And sometimes I
I'm
can't
how does
handle it,
this
so I just
happen?
delete everything that ever existed on my phone. Like a crazy person.
You guys make Katya seem like a type A, organized, reliable,
It's so sad. Like
Yeah.
we
The fact that
really
we've gotten here.
Yeah,
is-
and that's proof positive miracles happen.
This is huge.
Miracles happen.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Do you guys do vaping?
Vaping? Yeah, sometimes.
Let's talk about it.
He vapes.
Okay.
I
What's
don't.
going on there?
Well, listen, it's not my fault. We live with one other gay, and it's honestly his fault because he vapes, and I will never buy a vape. I don't think like this whole week we're not with him. I'm not going to vape once because I won't think about it. But if it's in front of me, I just need to borrow it.
Interesting.
But you always. But what's funny is that you guys always like give it a name that
Yeah,
day.
like
you're
it's
like, can I see
Catherine,
Jessica Lange?
it's Jessica, it's any name we think of. So it's like the whole day they'll be like, we need to see Charlize today, like immediately.
Is it marijuana or is it nicotine?
It's nicotine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nicotine.
I've only done, when I was an English teacher, they had a fake vape, which was just the vapor.
Speaking of you, an English teacher,
Amazing.
talk
you.
about a star. That was
Truly,
fucking crazy.
Well, I don't know what was so fun. Brian Jordan Alvarez is so great. And I got really lucky because he made up that whole character and didn't even have to audition. He was like, I have this for you.
You're
it was
perfect for
so
it.
good.
It was great. It was so fun to play like a loser burnout because I was never that person.
Yeah.
I'm so successful
Yeah,
and
it's hard
reliable.
to even
But like,
get
that is
yourself
how
in
real
those
drag queens would
shoes.
act in high school.
Mhm.
They'd
Right.
steal shit. They'd,
It
but
was
the fake
so
vaping
good.
was like,
Was it a real vape or was it?
and they bought me one the size of like,
yeah, which
it
is
was
so
like-
good.
And it made me choke. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you get used to it.
I choke every
You
single
choke.
time I do it. That's they like sometimes like to just watch me do it to laugh.
It's like a
Right.
bit.
But no, I'm so happy I never got into vaping.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. No one should do it. Like, I
Yeah.
stand by that. But and I mean, on top of it, my voice is already so fried. I'm like, it's only going to get worse from here.
Mhm.
Like, I really, I'm a victim of vaping.
vaping.
A vape culture.
I've done like weed vapes before,
Yeah.
dab pens, but I'm also off the weed train.
Yeah.
Like,
you
I
are?
gotta-
Did you guys quit weed?
I did recently.
What happened?
I was getting to a point where I'm an anxious person. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm an anxious person. So when I would like get high, it was supposed to calm people down, and I would just like spiral in my head. So I was like, why am I actually doing this? And then I would do it at like 7 p.m. before I went to sleep. But then I would just like go down in the basement, go down into my room, which is in the basement. I feel like I'm Cinderella, but I go down in the basement
Freddy Krueger.
and
I go to the boiler room.
sit there by myself. And I'm like, why am I not being social right now? It just would make me less social.
It definitely makes me well, to be honest, I love to on a night where I'm like, there's no drinking. I just started drinking again. On a night where it's like no drinking, it's fun to take a very minor edible.
Yeah.
And just do
Edibles, sure.
But sometimes you take that edible and you're gripping onto the tabletop because you're sinking into the floor.
Depends on
That's-
how much, you're taking.
And I never know how much I'm supposed to be taking.
And we've had some crazy, edible stories.
Have
One
we?
time, Tracy and I were in Mexico, and there, you know how some hotels you have an elevator to get to the lobby, and then you go to a different elevator to go to rooms, and sometimes there's an elevator that just goes to the bars and the restaurants in the hotel.
Okay.
Tracy and I got high, and by the time we got up to the second elevators, we kept getting in the one that only went to the bar in the hotel, the bar in the restaurant, and we were kind of like, what? Where are the rooms? Like, have they all disappeared? Like, it was like too much. And then I went to see Wicked,
High as
that I'm
hell.
not being paid to promote, and I sat in the front row because when you go alone, you get one little ticket. And I hit the Benjamin during the
Front row high at Wicked.
and I was so high that my thought in my head was, "What's my line?" I thought I was in it. So you got to be careful.
Did you know your lines?
My thought in the moment, I swear to God, I went, "Okay, I'm going to stand up and turn to the audience and talk," and then I went, "Nope."
Can you
Don't-
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the headlines the next day? It's like Trixie Mattel stands up at Wicked. Was it on Broadway?
Yes, with
Yeah,
the new Alpha by Mary Kate Morrissey, and it was No Good Deed, which is in the front of the stage, and the air's
Oh
blowing.
my
And imagine me being like, "Oh,
You're like,
thank you everyone for coming." Yeah, what would I say? Did you guys ever do plays? Were you theater people?
No, so that was one thing for us is like we're repressed theater gays. We just never did theater. And
So
it's something
fucked
that
up.
we regret deeply.
I assistant directed Anything Goes.
And that's
And
theater,
Barnum.
girl.
And Barnum, if anyone's familiar with Barnum.
What goes on with Barnum?
It's literally The Greatest Showman. It's almost the exact same musical. It's about P.T. Barnum like putting on a show.
Do you like
Same
The Greatest Showman?
characters.
No.
Okay. I just
There's
need
that song that the
validation.
drag queens do. I'm a
This is me.
stranger to the
Yeah.
back. Whatever.
This is me.
The girl. Let me tell you, the drag queens.
They love it.
They sit there. You know, like that meme of Lois Griffin with the pills, and she's like all disheveled.
This is
That's
me.
that song.
Yeah.
And drag queens during Pride, they're like,
They ate it up.
I have to do it. Not to mention, if you're a plus size drag queen, have access to a lace beard, mama,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
get ready.
easy.
It's coming
It's
in
time.
hot.
Yeah.
It's really time.
It's coming. But you know who turns up for it? Straight people at the Pride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it moves them.
They
Oh,
love
yeah.
The
That
Greatest
is
Showman.
me.
Yeah.
It's true.
And you're
And I'm one of them. I'm a straight
Pride.
person that loves Greatest Showman. So
Yeah.
that sucks.
Straight people, what's going on there?
In general.
In general, with
Yeah,
straight
like
people,
what's going on there?
I feel like you've been on the record saying that you never want to be near a straight person.
No. I love straight women.
Straight women.
I love
Oh, yeah.
straight women.
Straight women
That's
obsessed.
crazy.
Straight men.
Yeah, straight
Straight
men.
men.
I have
Yeah,
no.
for sure.
I have no like. There's no evolutionary purpose for me to be like a friend of a straight man unless I am family with them
Mm-hmm.
or it is one of my dearest friends' husbands or boyfriends.
Right. And there are
Otherwise-
those unicorn straight guys where you're like, you're amazing. How are you
Yes.
not get you're just so funny and nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
Except-
wonderful. I'm happy about them. I don't know those people.
Right.
I'm never in a room with them.
It's like, what do you talk like? What are you like? What do you talk about? Do you watch sports?
Do
It's
I?
Like, yeah, no, like I'm like.
I
Is
feel
that what you
bad.
say?
My brother just invited me to come to Minnesota to watch the Vikings and Green Bay Packer game. And I love my brother and I'm always trying to have a more consistent relationship. But I was like, I am not going to that.
Yeah, that's a worst
I'm
case
not
scenario.
going to that.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think you should go. Like I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Be like, hey, Dan, do you want to come to Los Angeles and go to a Bette Midler concert with me? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like a
Yeah.
little, I don't.
It's
You
too
want to go to
much.
DragCon?
Yeah.
You know? But I think we can find a difference. Maybe if he and I went to the Super Bowl and it was like a Dolly Parton Super Bowl,
I get that.
There could be a crossover.
Yeah, that would actually be perfect. If
Yeah.
that was the case.
Dolly Parton at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much longer do we have? Oh God. No, I have a tendency to not be able to wrap it up, and then suddenly I realize we have to go, and I just quit talking and we leave. So I try to create more of a button.
Yeah.
You know. So if you guys are, how'd you guys start watching the Drag Race? Was this when you guys were straight?
Well,
it's like,
well, I mean,
it depends on who we were straight to at the time.
No, so I came out pretty late. I came out at 23.
Which
I'm
was
only
4
20.
years ago.
5.
I came out 23 times.
Well,
Yeah. No
Yeah.
one believed me.
well, yeah. Everyone was like, "You're gay. You're gay." No, it took me till I was 23. But once I turned 23,
Wasn't it 4 years ago?
wasn't
Wasn't it New Year's Eve going into 2020?
Yeah, it was. Is that 4 years
We're
ago?
going into 2025? Oh, 5 years.
Yeah,
That's
5 years.
so fierce.
But it
Brand
was
new
going
gay
into
people.
2020, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Obviously, 2020, like clear vision.
But
like,
did you
can't
have like this
lose.
haircut and stuff, and you were like, "It's
No.
me"?
I
Local
had a
racism.
comb over.
Brooklyn.
I had a comb over. My whole life, I had a comb over.
Are you bald?
No,
No.
but like I mean, like I would take my hair and I would brush it to the side, like I was a father of 4,
Okay.
and like it was like taking my kids to soccer, and it was just like wavy. And then I one day just started to curl my hair, but once I came out, it was 2020. Then we're in the pandemic, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like I'm gay.
Yeah.
So what do gay people do?
Yeah, watch Drag Race.
Watch Drag Race. So I binged the entire thing, that and Queer Eye, because I thought that was the two things. So I actually like.
Meanwhile, love Queer Eye.
I know,
the
I
straight
know.
people are watching that.
No, exactly.
Not the gay people.
But I didn't have. I was like, again, I was isolated. I was alone, and I wasn't telling people I was doing all of these things. And I was just. It was like Drag Race, Queer Eye, Drag Race, Queer Eye, and then I left the pandemic. I was one.
This is me.
This is me.
Yeah.
I was all 5 of the Queer Eye guys, and yeah.
Wow.
Dragged down.
Yeah.
You guys, what I love listening to about you guys' pod is you guys are like almost the same person, the way you tell stories. Like it's like hearing two minds that are like conjoined tell a story, because you guys have been in each other's lives at every stage, which is crazy. Do you guys feel like you have like a psychic link?
Yeah, we were actually just talking about this earlier today, because Andrew said that, made a joke. He was like, "Oh, by the way, on Thursday, I'm not going to be able to make it." And I was like, "Why? You're going to be on Abbott Elementary?" And he was like, "That's exactly what I was about to say. It's not true."
It's not true. We were driving past a lot, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be really hard for you to hear, but I'm not going to be with you on Thursday."
I was like, "You got Abbott?"
Yeah.
And it's like there's no surprises when it comes to us at this point. Like we do know what each other's thinking. I think sometimes for the worst.
And I think that at the beginning of the pod, that's what really worked, because we would do the clips and post it on TikTok, and we would finish each other's sentences, and we would land on the same, like, "Oh, Kelly Clarkson," and people were like, "Oh my God, did you stage that?" And we were like, "No."
It is like you guys are like so mind melded because you were so young. Like,
yeah, we ruined each other's lives in that way.
Oh, but we blessed it too.
Yeah.
could you imagine if you guys moved, like, grew up even 30 miles away from each other
I have
and
no
never
idea
met?
who
Like,
we'd be
what
like.
would your life be?
It really makes you think.
A single
would be
mom
straight.
who works too
Yeah.
hard. That's probably
You would for sure.
I'd be straight.
You would?
I would. Yeah.
Like deeply.
I would be like
deeply closeted.
Do you think I would be like?
Yeah,
I would be like George Santos.
I love that you whispered it and then said it into the microphone.
I wanted him to be like, yeah, that's
You're
okay.
allowed- you're allowed
That's
to
okay to
say
say.
it.
That's okay to say. Yeah, I mean, like,
What is she up to? I saw that she did
Prison,
Z-Way, and I was
right?
like, the awareness has left the room.
she was our congressman.
Yeah, New
Like
York.
in New York, Long Island, like our
Yeah.
district.
There were
So,
signs
like, I'm
everywhere
being
at the
serious.
time.
Like I would have been George Santos. That's so scary. What are they up? Like doing interviews no longer?
I think things are looking worse for him.
Yeah, because I feel like afterwards he was like, I'm gonna be a celebrity.
Doing
Yeah,
cameo.
she's going to be on a TV show called Dancing with the Faggot Pieces of Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Dancing with the
Cameo
Liars.
ate George Santos up though.
What a turd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think now people, we're filming this at the time of a new incoming president.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Do you think that everybody online is like, I'm going to stop fucking the straight guys? Do you think that we all just have to stop fucking the straight guys?
I'm not in that situation. So
Are you fucking the straight guys?
I was.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively, because the gay guys all know Trixie.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that point of view for you.
Yeah.
I
I saw one tweet that was like, we're going to stop douching for the straight guys. Let's paint the town. I was like,
painting the DL
what?
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, fuck the straight guys in Brooklyn. I don't know.
There
They're
are
closest
the
enough to
straight guys in
being
Brooklyn
gay.
are gay already, so it's like hard to really even differentiate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that If I was in a situation where I was fucking straight men, I think that my time would be up.
Yeah.
I think my time would be up.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Unless you were
Let's wrap it up.
unless you are really reclaiming the pleasure and the power completely for yourself and you give them none of it. So maybe, yeah, you have to paint. Sometimes painting is the
You
answer.
have to paint.
It's your art,
Yeah.
really. When you guys came over to go swimming, you guys were staunchly against Los Angeles. Do you still feel that way?
I have come a long, long way.
You
And
like it now?
I love it. I
You
really
do?
I love it. And I'm like, every single time I'm here, I feel like it's only a matter of time. We've talked about it though, because you don't, right?
Like, you don't
my
see yourself
opinion,
living
like, here.
waivers. I like it when I'm here for like longer
Yeah.
periods. When I'm here for like a week or like a weekend, I do not like it. But also
Yeah.
I don't drive. I know that you don't drive, but like I feel very isolated. Like I like New York because I can go anywhere and like run into people. But here it's like, am I gonna walk down the side of the street for 15 minutes to like get coffee and like just feel like I get very anxious here really quickly.
Let me tell you, you will move here and you will never have a friend ever again.
Yeah.
Nobody sees anyone. No, just literally
So.
Thursday, Orville Peck, me and Brittany were supposed to go to dinner, and Orville Peck canceled, and then Brittany canceled. And that is the closest I've had to like a real
Friend dinner.
friend. Yeah, no
Yeah.
one does anything. The level of fierce like flakiness among us all is so extreme.
Okay.
I need
So
to be
maybe
around
you're swaying my
people.
opinion. Do you think I should move here? Is it a good place? Do you like being here?
Not
As
really.
opposed to New York? Do you like visiting New York?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But then again, when I'm there, it's like for a press tour,
Yeah.
and I'm staying like in a hotel in Times Square. Like
Right.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the fantasy.
I think it's just because I'm from New York. Like I want something different, you know, and this feels a little bit different. I feel more relaxed here, honestly, and I like to drive. So that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Once you come here and you realize there's no winter, it is very horny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
horny when it's January and you're like outside in your t-shirt and you're like,
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
nice. That's a real
And
benefit.
I'm
New
trying
York
to
winter?
be horny.
I mean,
it's
New York
not
winter,
horny.
it's like they want you to kill yourself. Like that's
Yeah.
the goal.
It's a
like,
no for me,
It is
dog.
really, really, really scary.
Like January in New York. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
Horrible.
really, it's so scary. And it's like you also stop seeing people in New York at this time of year. Like
Yeah.
now suddenly your days end at 5 p.m. and you go to sleep. Like it's like over at this point. So it is.
is. It really is.
Yeah.
And also the other thing is the restaurants are people are sitting at your table.
In,
in New
everything-
York?
the
Because
proximity.
everything's so
Oh,
small.
yes.
Yeah.
Like those rooms are so small. Like
Yeah.
you're paying these even the fancy restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
fancy hotel. You open the door, it hits the bed. You're like, okay,
Yeah, it is crazy.
it's a space issue.
The
Yeah.
space here is really nice. I do think that I think there is an energy of peace. It's just not my
With
level
you.
of peace. Like I
The
need to
peace is not
operate with
with you.
certain anxiety at all times, and then I feel comfortable. And like New York gives me that. And like I'm getting on the subway, I'm at risk constantly. I feel amazing. Here I almost am like,
Sick.
what am I gonna do all day?
You guys are both very anxious, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you worry about the long-term effect of your health on your health?
Like
Autoimmune
listen.
disorder?
What'd you say?
Autoimmune disorder,
Well,
stress, anxiety
yeah, of
disorders.
Course, of course. And that's like my mom is dealing with all that now in her life because she's just been anxious forever.
I think it's a very Long Island Italian, like growing up in that household.
Yeah.
Your mom is always stressed and anxious. You're always like late to something. Then there's like extra stress on top of it.
And
then
it's
we've
always
just
worst
taken it
case
on.
scenario.
Always worst case.
scenario at all times.
Yeah.
We've
And then
definitely
we-
gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
though.
well, we chose a career where we have to kind of face it head on and on camera. So it really
Mhm.
does actually make it like, I think it's been every time we do something that feels like big or monumental to us, like we leave that and we're like, okay, we can do that again.
Yeah.
Like that's
Totally.
It's a really good feeling in that way. So we're slowly getting there. You should have met us 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
We wouldn't have been here for
No.
for several reasons, but
No.
we would have caught them sick.
Even before our first live show, it was like
Oh, I had COVID for a week and a half. I didn't actually have COVID.
he didn't have COVID. He just,
just
like,
had
he was
every
laid out the
symptom.
day of the show. I was like, Joe, what do you mean we have a show tonight? It's our first
Yeah.
live show ever.
Please don't
It
tell
was our
Katya.
first time
Katya
ever
will do
being on
that if you
stage.
tell her. Don't tell her that, please.
It was really amazing.
I thought I was
because
like, I
Andrew was
think
like
I'm
going
gonna- I think I'm
all
having a
around
heart attack.
Brooklyn, like getting a rental car, like because it was nice for me because I was laying in bed, but
There's these moments where like, I mean, I feel like it's insane. Like Bob the drag queen is next to her. She's one of those people where I don't think she gets nervous. I think the more heightened a situation is, the more she actually plugs in and uses the energy.
Mhm.
The more people
So
are there, the more
jealous.
stakes are higher. She's actually like a better and better performer.
Yeah.
It's fucking irritating because it's amazing.
do you get nervous?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
God.
so crazy. That's
Yes.
so crazy.
I get
You would never
nervous to
know.
like go to lunch with a family member.
That's
You know what I mean?
crazy.
Like-
well, that makes more sense honestly than like your work though.
Freak-
Like, do you get nervous at a gig?
For DJing, not really.
Yeah,
For DJing, not really. For stand-up, I used to like almost puke every time.
that
When I
makes
was-
sense.
You know,
yeah.
when I was doing the one-woman shows, unless I was in the middle of a tour of a bunch of shows, I really would be like, tonight's going to be awful because comedy's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
At least with DJing, I'm like, well, I know that I can play music and the variation on whether or not they like it is going to change every night, whatever.
Right.
But usually, you know, I would get really nervous for things like I remember the first time right before I walked into Drag Race the first time, I remember looking in the mirror and thinking, this was a mistake and they're all about to find out about you. The first time I went on stage at a nightclub at 21, I remember being backstage in the dressing room and thinking, this is a mistake and they're all going to find out that you're a liar, who's a fraud, who shouldn't be here. Like there's that level of you fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Like self-deprecating thoughts.
It's almost like you're in a bad dream.
Yeah.
Where the anxiety is so steep that you're like, should I just start running?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was like, I remember that very vividly before our first live show, being backstage with you and just being like, we have to just commit now because we're here. But I do not think this is going to go well.
But then right when you hit the stage and then people are clapping, then you're like, okay, we got
Yeah.
this. They want to see you win.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we kept saying, like throughout the entire pod, the live shows, whatever, like people want to see you win.
Yeah.
So they're not like coming in there being like, oh, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
They
No,
suck.
they're not.
Yeah.
They're
No.
not. They're not. Especially for you guys. They're there to see you because they love you. They're there to hear personal stories and like they know what they get. Like
Yeah.
Katya used to get weird about for the Bald and the Beautiful live. She'd be like, are people going to be mad that it's us just talking? And I was like, that's what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to like convince yourself that that's true though. I get it. Like, cause you are like, this is the easy, especially with like Katya, like with us, it's like, we do this for fun no matter what. So the idea of people paying to see it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
we're scamming you. But
Right.
people enjoy it.
I do think having a partner helps. Like having Katya, I really never get nervous when we go out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
because-
only after that first live show,
Oh yeah.
we were fine because it's so easy to be like, even if I feel off tonight, you're gonna take it away. Like we
Yeah.
can just balance it out.
100%.
Yeah.
Katya and I on tour would be like one night or the other night, it'd be like, it's your night, babe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I'm on the suicide watch. I need you to go sell it. Or Katya, like if she's sick or I'm sick or whatever, we would really feel out the like, I need you tonight to be the 60 so I can be the 40.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it.
Which
Yeah.
is really, really nice to have that.
Yeah.
Really nice. And you know, she's not here, is she? She's also so gifted and so funny and everyone loves her so much
Yeah.
that I'm always like, even if I dropped dead, these people would get their money's worth. So
Mhm.
when you think of yourself as
That's
like,
exactly how I feel about him.
if you believe in your partner's
Yeah.
talent, you're like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like best
Yeah.
case scenario, like worst case scenario, I'm the like mid sidekick to something incredible.
Yeah.
So it's going to be okay.
That's not true.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
But
I
I
dropped
dropped
it,
start
people would
crying.
say-
If I want you to start crying. But do you guys cry for movies?
No.
Movies will fuck. I will go to
Oh,
a
do they?
funeral of a loved one and be like, is there going to be food? And then like at
Yeah.
a
Well, same.
movie. Oh my, I watched that movie Lars and the Real Girl the other day about Ryan Gosling dating a
And the
sex doll.
You were
You were
sobbing?
crying.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I gotta watch
That was
it.
me to ET last night on the plane, I will say. For some reason, ET brought me to tears. And it wasn't the plot.
Entertainment Tonight.
yeah.
I was just like this. We used to make movies. It was like one of those
Yeah.
moments. I was like,
It's
those
an
kids are
amazing film.
flying. Like that really must have been
Yeah.
crazy to watch when it first came out. And then I was like sobbing on the plane. And then we landed and I couldn't finish the movie. But I was crying.
Have you watched Back to the Future recently? That movie also has that power.
No, I haven't watched
No,
it.
I saw the musical.
And
How
that
was it?
Oh.
Girl, I
It
want to
was
go. It's
good.
at the Pantages down the street from my
I'll
house.
say you one
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Okay.
Go.
Listen, the production of the show, amazing. You know, the technical thing's amazing, but I think everything else it missed me.
Do they sing Power of Love?
I don't think so.
No.
Damn.
But we could be wrong.
Huey Lewis in the News?
Who's to say?
I
No.
love the beginning.
It's like both of those songs are in it. We go.
I'm
no.
late for school and he puts on the headphones and Power of Love. I love
I
that
wouldn't be
fucking
shocked
movie.
if that happens in it. I wouldn't be shocked.
It's
Like,
just like
very
we just like
possible.
didn't love it.
Yeah.
Do you think that Marty and Doc Brown did?
Yes.
Sucked.
I hope to
Yeah, they
God.
sucked, yeah.
I would if I were Marty.
You think he showed him as Doc Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got Doc Browned for sure.
In the
Yeah.
off chance that not everybody here has followed you, can you tell them where they can follow Good Children?
Yeah, you can follow us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod.
You guys are so funny and everyone loves you.
That is
you.
really nice to say.
Thank you.
Obviously, same to you.
Yeah.
And you're so
truly.
funny, you love each other so much, and you're both so well dressed, and all of your success is well deserved.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Don't
it.
make it. You just want us to cry so
Yeah,
badly
like
now.
you want us to
No.
Start playing ET on your phone.
Sometimes you're like, okay, give it up for her.
Yeah.
But with you guys, it's just like, this industry is so random, but sometimes it happens to people who really deserve it. You guys really deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That really means the world coming from you, truly.
This was truly a dream come true.
Yeah.
Of course, I
to
need
be
you to
on the
leave
show.
now, though.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, we're out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.